The show starts in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, go.
Go. What is up, Nickel City Mafia? Welcome to another episode of Sunday Night Bills Talk. Finally, preseason is over. Finally. But we still have some things to talk about with the roster cuts due on Tuesday. But joining me tonight, we got a special guest. He's been on the show before. Tommy from Mafia Sports Report. Tommy, how you doing tonight, sir?
What is going on, fellas? Man, I am so ready. We are, like 2 weeks away?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
So, I cannot wait, man. This has been a long off season, guys. So I cannot wait for Monday Night Football, man.
Yeah, same here. And then Jake, it seems like you and I haven't done a show in a while. I know I had
know.
last Wednesday. The boys filled in perfectly. So how you doing, sir?
I'm fantastic, Mike. Yeah, it's been a minute. It's been a minute here, and I feel, I screwed up, Tommy. I see you're drinking a beer right now. I opted for the Diet Dr. Pepper, not true Buffalonian style at all.
Oh, boy.
No, it's
so
not.
hand up, I did not come prepared. So you're going to have to steal the show today.
Well, I figured we'd start with some film. I mean, we're not a channel that, covers a lot of film. We don't break it down, but once in a while we'll show some film. And I thought this was a good opportunity. Spent a lot of people talking about Spencer Brown and Osiris Torrance. And I feel like, that first drive, which was a very nice drive yesterday, is what we wanted, what we were hoping for. Let's bring up some film and you can focus on both Torrance and Spencer Brown, and we'll talk about it. And there's just about a minute of film. So let's bring it up here, guys. And let's start with some things here. So let me rewind that and get us going here. So I want you to focus on left side of the screen there. Of course, you got Torrance, and then you got Spencer Brown, and keep an eye on him.
Mike, now we need to get ourselves a little thing where we can draw on the board with here.
Yeah, no, I've been looking for it used to have it in Windows. They used to have their Photos app used to allow you to do that. I've been searching, so I'll find it eventually, but because it'd be kind of cool. But here you go.
Here we go.
Quick out.
Tough start.
Yep. I'm just keeping an eye on the tackles there on the left there, because Torrance just does a great job and Spencer Brown does a great job. I want
you to pay attention. Look at this formation too.
Yeah.
I really like what they did here. Just giving a little bit of extra protection here. You got Dawson Knox basically that's Dawson, right?
That is Dawson.
No, it's Kincaid. I thought it was Kincaid.
Okay.
Dawson was hurt this game. Remember?
Yeah, that's right.
He didn't play.
Okay. It looks like an 88. It's tough to tell. But
Knox was out this game with the finger injury or whatever.
Okay. Take a look 100%. At that big guy.
I love the formation, though. I'm a big fan of that, giving a little extra help there.
Who's number 49 out there, Jake, for the Bears?
That's Tremaine Edmonds. Pay attention to him, too, on this drive. Josh threw at him a little bit. It was great.
Yeah. I went from the end zone views. When you do the all-22, they did a nice change this year. They let you select whether you want the end zone view or the sideline view or the broadcast view. They used to make you go through all three of them. Now you can select which ones you want. So let's get into it here. Let's get into the second play here. Again, there was nice block in there on the left side.
It's a great job. Yep, beautiful. Right to the flats there. By the way, Deontay Hardy, stock up again. I think I don't know if there really was ever any doubt with him, but I feel very comfortable with him on this team. I'm a big fan.
Yeah, if you see what Dorsey had scripted here in this game, he wanted Allen to get rid of the ball quick. So if you saw the first pass was really a quick pass to Gabe, and then a quick out to Hardy here. And I think they're just trying to get Hardy more involved in the mix, because they're going to use Hardy a lot this season, in my opinion. I think, especially in the slot. Listen, man, yards after catch is going to be something that we have struggled through the seasons. And Hardy is a guy that can actually get good yards after catch. So I think they're just trying to get Josh and him on the same page. And that's why you saw him being targeted a little bit early on.
Yeah, good points. Keep an eye on Osiris here. At first, 97 puts a nice little move on him, but watch him recover here nicely. Just bowls this guy like this. 97 looks like he's got a good run right at Josh, right?
Yeah.
Just pushes him
Beautiful.
away.
He did that all through college, Mike. Like people, he's flat-footed, by the way, which is kind of funny. But he's a flat-footed guy, and yeah, like even if a guy gets past him, he knows he figures a way to still get back involved.
Great on the recovery, absolutely.
On the recovery, yeah. So, man, like everything on Osiris Torrance so far, you're seeing, a guy that is going to be a really, really good guard in the NFL, a Pro Bowl type guard, I believe. We got lucky, guys. I'm telling you right now.
Oh yeah,
lucky that he fell.
We definitely did. By the way, number 97 for them is Andrew Billings, which is no easy task. I mean, he's a pretty solid defensive lineman. He's a bigger dude too, so that is not a cakewalk by any means. So for him to be able to recover like he did there, was fantastic. Also, Tom coming in with the super chat.
Oh my.
Holy smokes! Thank you, sir. We appreciate that, man. We appreciate your support always, man. You're awesome.
Tom up there, yeah. Appreciate you, buddy.
There you go.
Little I formation here.
I'll be honest with you. I thought the whole offensive line played very well.
Yeah, they definitely did. This is the exact type of drive you want to see. Get in, get out, be sharp, do your thing. Boom. Yeah. And this is exactly what they did this whole drive. And by the way, Tommy, I think Dawson did play this game. Dawson Knox.
I thought he was out. Him. I thought he was out this game.
He did have a finger injury, like you said, but I want to say that is him actually.
Maybe I could swear he was out. I could swear he played week 2, and he was. But I could be wrong.
I thought that was the game he missed.
Maybe it was week 2 he was out, because I just don't recall him being on the field. But who knows? Man, it's preseason.
It looks like you could tell by his mouthpiece.
You might be right though.
The binky mouthpiece. Right. That's what I call it.
I'd have to look at his stats to see if he pulled anything or
I want to say hi to
might
Sophia.
Be right.
Aloha, Mike and Jake and Tommy. Go Bills. Sophia contacted me. Her Madden 24 game is on the way. She should have it by Wednesday. And what's crazy is it's not for her kids or her grandchildren or anything.
Yeah, he did play, by the way, guys. Sorry.
Okay.
He did. So I was
going to say that looks too familiar.
Unless
Dalton Kincaid is mimicking the gear. I was going to say it looks just like him.
Yeah, it was week 2 that I'm thinking when he didn't play with the starters.
You know what?
He had the finger
Tommy,
thing going on. Yeah.
It all blends together, brother. It's preseason right now,
Mm-hmm.
All right,
let's watch 41 on this, guys.
All right, 41.
I'm a big Reggie Gilliam fan, by the way.
You are. Let's check it out. Let me see if I can pause this a little bit here. So this is just, they're just going to fool everyone here. Oh, there you go. Not much. I was thinking this is the one where Josh fakes and rolls to the right. This is the one
here.
This
is it right here, yep.
And just a nice little dump off to Hardy.
Yep. Look at that. You guys see 49 on that play? Get a little...
Yeah, oh yeah. And you know what? They took... I don't know if he finished this whole drive, honestly. I feel like I didn't see him towards the end of this drive when they were about to score, so...
Tremaine, you're saying, Mike?
Yeah, Tremaine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, again, just the quick passing game. It was really great to see. They made it a point, like Tommy said.
Here.
I mean, it.
Again, I'm focusing on Torrance here. He's helping out Mitch. Mitch helping out him. He took care of that guy. Beautiful block. I mean,
that's a great job. David Edwards getting up there. Now, he did have a tough block in the back call, and there was no need for it, but that was a great job on that play there. Let's watch him work, get to the second level here.
Look at this. This is a beautiful block by Torrance here. I mean,
this is TJ Edwards too, by the way.
This looks like it could go to the house. Look at right. Let's take a look here.
I mean, we're talking
boom.
Oh,
beautiful.
This is pornography. I just love good football. This whole drive, honestly, it was fantastic. I was very happy with it.
Yeah, I want to say hi, Sophia. So stoked for Madden 24. She plays Madden, Jake.
So Sophia plays Madden. Let's go. All right.
She's got a PS5, an Xbox X
Heck
version.
yeah.
So we'll have to get her gamer tag and play against her. And then Linda West, you're the only one who hasn't contacted me. Send an email to nickelcitymafia@gmail.com. Let's get your address and let's get you your copy as well. Jules Marie, her copy's on the way as well. She'll have that by Tuesday. So love it. All right, let's go on here. Let's take a look at this one here again.
I do not like the shotgun draw.
Yeah, I'm with you.
I defenses read it. It takes a little while to develop.
Mm-hmm.
We generally, it doesn't really get
You
many
pick
yards.
up 2 yards tops every time. It seems like right, 2 times.
We're just not. Yeah, we're not a good team. Like we're not built that way. Is what I'm trying to say. Like
yeah.
I kind of wish they would go away from that, and it just seems like we still are stuck with the shotgun draw.
Stubborn. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't like it, man. And under center, but Josh likes to be in shotgun a lot more than under center.
Mm-hmm.
But I don't know. I just don't like that. It takes way too long to develop, and we just generally don't get much out of it.
Yeah, I feel like our line is just not good enough to maintain those blocks for a long enough time. Too.
It'd be different if we had and maybe we'll get there one day, because what I like from the line is at least they're starting to, like, Brandon Bean and McDermott are finally starting to understand that you need to have an O-line, a good O-line to win a Super Bowl or get to a Super Bowl, whatever. You have to have it. You have to have pass protection, run blocking. And we just haven't had that for the longest time. So finally, he at least started to address it by drafting Osiris Torrance, by getting McGovern. By the way, David Edwards played this game over McGovern because McGovern's hurt. And David Edwards did a great job.
Yeah, I mean, outside of that block in the back, I really felt like he had a strong performance.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, filling in. So I'm comfortable with him there,
And this is Latavius, or no, that's Damian Harris. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was just going to say that.
Harris finally got.
Yep.
Harris finally got on that.
So let's see what they do here. Okay, let's take a look at this one. So 93 gets a nice little. Looks like he's got Torrance beat here. Let's see what happens here. Gets a little help.
Good job by Mitch Morse.
And then I love what Torrance does here. He's like, all right, I'm going to go.
Looking to
help.
help.
Got this. I'm going to go help. Yeah, I want to go help Spencer Brown a little bit. Now the ball's out. He finishes. I love that. Yep.
He always finishes.
Yep.
Which is fantastic to see. As a rookie, too. I mean, it's just beautiful.
People say Gabe dropped that one. That was a very good defense. But like, a lot of people have to understand, man, you got to give it up to defenses once in a while, too. It's not always the offense that made a mistake or dropped the ball. Like, that guy, that was a tough catch to make. The guy was all over him. Like you can't really fault Gabe Davis there. It wasn't, you're directly in his hands with nobody there. So, like, just want to tell people, sometimes people get caught up in he dropped the ball. Like, it's like, did you see the defender? He gets paid too. He's right there. He played him very good. It just didn't, it is what it is.
All right, let's see how Torrance does against 93 here. I think this is where, nope, again, nice job. Josh does have to roll.
He got beat a little bit there.
Yeah.
But Josh, we don't
throw.
have a pocket passer. Like, Josh is mobile. So, he gave him enough time. Josh got out of the pocket. And that's obviously the great thing about having Josh Allen. And by the way, that was an awesome pass. So,
no,
but that's normal. I wasn't even like 2 years ago, I was like, oh my God, like, what a fucking pass, right? But now I'm like, okay, yeah. So like, it doesn't amaze me anymore. I'm just like,
right.
And it really is. I mean,
it is.
It's crazy.
We need to watch that again. Anytime Josh rolls to his right, we always say, watch out, defense, watch out. And defense
I'm sorry to cut you off. That pass there, any other quarterback, that is a big no-no.
Yep.
That is a big no-no.
Throw across your body like that.
Never throw across your body. Anybody else would either get intercepted or just want to get there or whatever. That it's craziness. Sorry to cut you off, Mike. It's wild to see, really.
Oh no, I know. They even mentioned that on the broadcast. They were like, if you're a quarterback, you should not be doing this unless you're like a Josh Allen or Pat Mahomes. But I mean, the velocity he puts on this ball is impressive. But,
with somebody
Yeah.
kind of on him. If you look, I mean, he's like stiff arming him while he's getting rid of the ball, pretty much. Wild, man.
We are blessed.
Oh yeah, 100%, man.
So let's roll the tape here.
Good job.
Great job stepping up in the pocket there, getting out too.
Oh, that was a penalty.
Up and shifted to the side.
Yeah, that was a penalty on the Bears here. And then Damian Harris here.
There we go. See, on under center there.
Mm-hmm. Now this is Kyle Allen, and I did want to show a couple plays with him. This is 70 Anderson getting a little play at right tackle and Questenberry at left tackle, and neither of them look good, man. Okay, this is the bad one here. This is where the strip sack happens. And I want you to watch on the right side, even Questenberry. I mean, Questenberry at this point, I don't think they have their starters in right now, but every time I watch Questenberry, he's about to get beat. But 70 is Anderson. Jake, I saw him playing a little bit of guard too. Do you know much about this young man?
I mean, he's been around, and I feel like, well, he's also been a practice squatter. I know he was picked up by another team as well at one point, then we brought him back. Bigger dude. Yeah, I mean, I'm not sure if he's an NFL tackle or if he's a guard, like you said, Mike. It's I mean, this really didn't help the case that he's an NFL tackle by any means, but yeah, I wasn't super impressed by any means yesterday with what he did out there. I mean, look at this. It's just
all right, this is a little
and this is not their starting defensive line, by the way.
Yeah. So he's beat. Look at Questenberry. He's beat.
Yeah.
Right. Allen does step up here a little bit, but Anderson's beat so bad that this guy just loops back inside. A nice little strip sack right there.
Yeah, but that's listen, bad. I get the tackles there, not a good job.
Yeah,
but Kyle Allen also has to like feel the pressure there. He has to tuck the ball or get rid of the ball, step up in the pocket better, or get out of the pocket. You know what I mean? Like he has to feel that. That's what good quarterbacks do. Clearly, it's why he's a backup. But I'm just saying, like, I'm not blaming him totally on this, but he definitely, I felt like he held the ball a little bit too long there, and he should have felt the pressure, and he didn't. So that's kind of why. Because anyone else, a veteran quarterback or anybody who knows what they're doing would have at least threw the ball away or tucked the ball and just took the sack or whatever. You know what I mean? But a little bit on Kyle Allen there.
Yeah. So this is kind of the last bit of footage here, and I brought this up. So the reason why this is important to me and why I wanted to get this one is because Cam Lewis had a really good game. He was the leading tackler. He had a stick on a guy that had a catch. He knocked the ball out. It was fantastic. But I was concerned about this play, and I was on Tommy's show, and we talked a little bit about this with Mikey, who blew the coverage here. And Mikey thought it was Dotson. Now, you'll see Dotson, he's in the middle right now. Wish I could circle that, but he's right in the middle, right behind the defensive line there. He's going to pick up the tight end, and he stays with him to a point, and keep an eye. DeMar Hamlin's over there up at the top of the screen in the back, and Cam Lewis is down at the bottom in the backfield playing safety. So let's roll the tape here, and you guys tell me what you think. And I'll pause this along the way. So Dotson's with him. Right now, Cam starts to cheat over, and I'm not sure why, but he does. And then, boom, tight end makes a nice cut back to the middle.
But what was Dotson stopping for too, though? Like,
so
there was no reason to stop on the play. There was the quarterback wasn't there. There's a guy right in front of the quarter. Like, I don't know who that is, but there's a guy right there. I'm guessing maybe either Settle or Puna, maybe, but either way,
I think that's
I'm thinking Cam. I'm thinking Cam is maybe thinking that receiver on the outside is breaking in, and he's going to jump it. Maybe he's thinking that. I'm just guessing there. The wide receiver to the right. It looks like maybe he thought he was going to cut to the middle there, and he was going to, like I said, jump it, and he probably thought Dotson was going to stick with the tight end here, and that's why he wasn't on that, because it looks like the top DeMar is taking right here. He's jumping that the left out, So
Yeah.
if I had to guess, I think Dotson. I still think Dotson should have stuck with the tight end there. There's no reason. I don't know what. I'm guessing he was keeping his eyes on the quarterback here, maybe thinking he was going to run. I don't know. It looked like he was. I don't know. I feel like he made the mistake there.
So let's go back, Mike. Go back to the beginning of the snap here.
Yep.
Oh,
might have went a little too far.
That's okay. That's okay. We'll let it roll.
Yeah.
So,
oops.
All right. So he's dropping. You could play it a little bit here.
All right.
I just want to see his drop here. He drops to 5-yard drop, and then basically. So I'm thinking here. Obviously it's a major communication issue. He feels that maybe he has help, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But he's also protecting the middle of the field too. So if there are any crossing patterns, he's there. So my thought is, for sure, yeah, it is a little on him because there's just a poor communication there, and obviously not knowing that he doesn't necessarily have help, or maybe he should have help. Yeah, I'm not going to put it totally on him, but in this. What I'm looking at, it looks like his responsibility is to take away the middle of the field here, and then the safety over the top is supposed to take the tight end on that. Yeah. So he drops back 5 yards, right? And that's his middle of the field there. But him, I think it's kind of like an oh shit moment. He's like, oh no, I don't have help. So then he kind of starts running back. You'll see him here. So let's watch. He drops. Yep. And then he covers. See, he's heading back towards the middle of the field, right? So he thinks he has help with that tight end there, but he doesn't. And
that might have just been a miscommunication with everybody.
That's 100%. Yeah.
Because if I feel like DeMar was, like I said, DeMar was paying attention to the out.
Cam I don't put that on DeMar. I actually put a lot more on Cam Lewis on that.
Cam had more of a break on it than anyone for sure.
Yeah,
and maybe Cam just was misreading it and thought Dotson was gonna or Hamlin was gonna. I'm not sure there, but that was definitely miscommunication with everybody.
Yeah, because I mean,
but I still feel like Dotson could have still ran with him a little bit there.
Right. But the only thing is, if his responsibility, if it's the case, and I don't know, if his responsibility is just the middle of the field there.
Yes, that is true.
He has to assume he has help. And if he does, great. Obviously he didn't. And he turned, he's like, oh shit. And then it was too late.
Right, yeah.
And Cam did not have a good angle. So that's just, yeah.
That's why they're, but you got to remember too, they're all second team right there. So there's going to be some miscommunication there. So
I don't know. So this is a question for you, Tommy. After watching the middle linebacker play yesterday, who's your guy? Do you have a guy? I don't even know. Do you just rotate them all? I mean,
well, that's what I've been
hand?
saying that. I've been saying that. So I said in the off season, and everyone was like, no, they're gonna, like Mikey, my co-host, was like, no way, they can't do it because who's gonna be the Mike? And I'm like, well, you can. There could be multiple Mike, believe it or not. Like so, and even I forget who it was. Greg at Cover One agrees too that you're probably what you're gonna see is you're gonna see rotational middle linebacker. So you might have Dotson starting one game, but maybe Klein gets more of the snap count in that game. Right. You know what I mean? Or Klein might start week 3, or Bernard might go week 5. Like, I just think it's going to be like a committee thing, like our linebacker by committee. I think it's too late to bring in somebody. However, it could still happen and you never know. I would love it. But I don't know. At this point, I think they took their gamble. And now they're just going to have to just figure it out, man. I don't think there's any answer right now for middle linebacker. I just think, like I said, I think it's going to be a rotational thing. I would what I would have liked to see, and they didn't do it, was when they drafted Dorian Williams to give him an opportunity before they quickly go, you know what? He's outside linebacker now. Instead of going, you know what? Let's see what the kid got at both middle and outside, and let's see where he fits. Instead, they were just like, nope. We're sold on Dotson and Klein and Bernard. And I think that was a big mistake. I would also like to see Taylor Rapp get reps because he got reps with the Rams. So, and he's a smarter player. He's been around a little longer. I trust him more than Dotson. I know he's a little bit undersized, but I'll take it over Dotson. Dotson makes too many mistakes, man. And Klein, the problem with both of them, they're almost the same player. They're both terrible at pass coverage. That's their knock. Bernard, however, is decent at pass coverage. But now he's dealing with this soft tissue injury. So who knows how that goes with the hamstring. And really, what have we seen from Bernard? He has very minimum time in the NFL. Like, he was a rookie last year. He didn't get in much time. So he could come in and make huge mistakes. He's a young guy. So it's tough, man. Really tough. I think like I said, they took the gamble way early on, and I think it's backfiring, man.
I agree. Yeah. And I always feel like, so in my opinion, Dorian Williams as a football player, I feel like is too good not to have him on the field. Let him make his mistakes. This was the time. You had 3 games, right?
Exactly.
You could have played him at middle linebacker, even started him a full game or whatever.
Right.
And now we're just back to square one. We're kind of in limbo.
Right.
So I just, I'm with you, man. I'm frustrated as hell about that.
And like, why are you drafting him to be backup Matt Milano? Like,
right.
I would have rather than not even drafting him at that point. You know what I mean?
Exactly.
Like,
I mean, especially when we could have taken
else.
a guy. I mean, there were other guys on the board. Wanya Morris went the pick after that, and that's your right tackle situation there. At least gives competition to Spencer Brown then, but the Chiefs end up taking him, and that might be, that might be one we look back on. I hope not, because I do love Dorian Williams. I feel like he's a very good football player, but if you're not going to use him, what's the point?
Yeah, I don't get it. I'm so confused there. I love Brandon Beam, but some of his moves are head scratchers, especially when it comes to trades too. Like, he just doesn't pull the trigger, and some of these guys are going for like 6 or 7 round picks. Like, dude, you got 10 of them. It's okay to get rid of a 6th or 7th round, like once in a blue moon, for a guy that could help your team, and he just
Isaiah
doesn't
Simmons.
do it. Yeah, he just
7th round
like,
pick.
I don't understand. Like, he is stubborn. Like, I gotta say, Bean and McDermott are very stubborn. They're both very, very stubborn in their ways, man. And it takes a lot for Bean to trade for a player. He'll trade our players. He'll get picks, but very rare does he want like a player like that he trades for an actual player. Just that's why anytime you guys hear any gossip about the Bills being in on a player for a trade, just ignore it. If it happens, then be like, oh my God. But other than that, don't get sold on the hype, because it doesn't happen.
Agreed. So you don't buy any of that Trey Lance hype.
Now see, that's the head scratcher. I do, maybe. Right. I do, but that's the head scratcher. It's like, wow, dude. So you're willing to trade for a backup quarterback, which it is what it is, and I wanted to hate it, but at the same time, I'm like, okay, what is he doing for the team now? I need a guy that could, if you're going to trade for a player, I want somebody that's going to impact this season, not a fucking backup. I don't care.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care. Like, listen, I care and I don't. In a way, I don't want to ever see a backup. I want to see Josh Allen. I'm good with that. So I need a guy. You're going to do a trade finally. Bring in a guy that can contribute, not a back. I don't care. That's not the end of the world, guys. Like, you know what I mean? Like, so if I heard like they were in on a middle linebacker or a tackle, I would have been like, okay, all right, hey, at least I know he's trying. But Trey Lance, no, like who gives it? I could care less. Like, honestly, could care less.
If we're going to Trey Lance, our season's already done at that point, anyways. So
like what? Like
if he has to play,
exactly.
Yeah.
Like, what did he show in San Francisco? Anyways, like, you know what I mean? Like, once again though, if our team was complete, we didn't need a middle linebacker. And it was just like, you know what, man, we're set. Fuck it, we'll give him a 5th you know what I mean? Who cares, right? Like, we're already good. We don't really need anybody, but yeah, you know what? We'll give him a 5th, and we'll just have this guy chilling. We'll see what can happen. And if he doesn't involve in anything, who cares? But we're not at that stage. We're at a stage where we need middle linebacker and we need offensive line help. We need depth. So I don't understand that if they were in on that.
I want to say thank you to Sophia for the
super
chat.
You, Sophia. We appreciate that.
Awesome, all 22 analysis. Once in a while, we bring that in, and hopefully we'll do more of that throughout the season.
I enjoyed the hell out of that, Mike. I think we got to do a lot more of that, and it doesn't have to be crazy. We just do a series. No. I think that's perfect. Yeah. That's all we need.
There's some other channels that do a fantastic job on that, but I think you're right, Jake. Just one series, maybe a couple plays here or there that we want to highlight. So. Love it. Thanks again, Sophia. Appreciate that. I do want to say, catch up a little bit. Tom out there already with the super chat. Thank you, sir. As always, you've been a long-time supporter of the channel, and we appreciate you. Wayne, let's see here. Waynehead 771. I love you, Mafia. Good to see you out there.
That's a shout out to Tommy. Love
yes,
it.
Sir. Yes,
By the
sir.
way, guys, Mafia Sports Report.
Yep.
Give it a like, give it a subscribe, all of
Thank
that.
you.
Make sure you follow him on every single platform. Tommy, you've been fantastic, and we appreciate the hell out of you for coming on
I
the show.
appreciate you guys having me, man. We're gonna, like I
Absolutely.
said, man, this guy, everybody, like we're gonna be doing this a lot this season, linking up, on each other's channels this year because I want to have different opinions, different takes. It's gonna be fun, man. Fun season.
Are you
Hopefully
in Buffalo,
huh?
Tommy? Are you in Buffalo?
I'm in Michigan. I'm in Michigan.
Oh, you're
so
in Michigan.
I live in Detroit. Yeah. So I actually saw my first Bills game was in 2018 because like I got to see Josh Allen, right, rookie year. So I went down. It was only a 4-hour drive. It's not long, and they played the Lions. I went with my buddy who's a Lions fan. I'm like, you know what? Let's go. We both suck. Right?
Yeah.
Like, it's cheap tickets, and I get
cool.
to see Josh Allen. It was so cool, man. I had great seats. Great time, cold, rainy, ugly out, but that's Buffalo, right? Like that's Buffalo weather, right? And I think it was November.
Buffalo?
It was this. Huh?
Are you originally from Buffalo?
No, so I'm from South Florida, and I told Mike so growing up, I was just like I was always into sports, and then my mom's boyfriend was watching football, and the Bills were playing in the playoffs. And I'm like, oh, who's this team? It was '89. We lost to the Browns. And then from there, I got hooked. So
Mike was at
I live in
that
South
game.
Florida. Yeah, he told me. Yeah, crazy, man.
Yeah.
Terrible loss. But then we bounced back, and obviously the next year went to the Super Bowl.
Yeah. So the link to the Tommy, the Mafia Sports Report is in the description of the show here tonight. So click on that afterwards and go sub there. I also want to give a shout out to a young man. Jacob is his name, from Spears Bills Talk. His name is he's Jacob Spears. I have the link in the description there. Go check out that young man. He's up and coming. He's starting a channel. We all know how hard it is. So go check it out. Go give him a sub. Give him a like, and help that young man grow his channel. Greatly appreciate that.
Yeah.
That's
By the way, speaking of that, I'll be on as a guest on his channel
Yes, all right.
next Sunday.
Nice.
So I'm not sure the time yet, but I'll tweet it out. I'll mention it on my channel. So he wanted me on as a guest. I told him, sure, why
That's
not?
awesome.
So
That's
I'll be
awesome.
on next week on his channel. So yeah, man, go try to help him out, guys. He's a newbie.
And then one last link in the description is the Discord. Join our Discord. We're going to be a lot more active on the Discord this year. We talk Buffalo Bills. We talk fantasy football. Anything you want to talk about ongoing 24/7. Maybe not 24/7 because some of us sleep. I don't know if Jake does, but some of us do. But join the Discord. There's a lot of great talk. Buffalo Bills, Buffalo Sabres, and fantasy football, golf, everything you want to talk about. So join it. Link is in the description. It's absolutely free. And talk to us throughout the week, man. It'd be fantastic to hear from you. You don't have to just wait till we go live on our shows. So thank you for joining us. We appreciate that.
Speaking of our fantasy show, Chris was out there. He said good stuff, guys. I think he liked the film session too, Mike.
Yeah.
If you guys haven't checked out our latest video with the fantasy side of things, Chris and Jeremy do a fantastic job. They will help you win your league. They know every single format there is and then some. I think they've even made one up themselves, most likely. So they are fantastic at what they do. So make sure you check out our fantasy show as well. It's fantastic.
Tom wants to know what's up with the hat, Jake. It's like, why are you not?
Oh yeah, so
tonight?
it's a I got my Rutgers hat on today. My Bills hats are actually in the wash right now because I've actually worn them too much. So and the problem is I don't know why, but all my hats are white or gray, and they get dirty so fast because I'm always outside doing something, So it just. And then sometimes you're out golfing, you have a couple pops, and you're wiping your hands all over. So that was the story yesterday. I went out golfing yesterday, wore my Bills Hawaiian shirt and everything. That was great. And was watching the game while in the cart. So that was fantastic. Then I rewatched it again. I watched it again after that. So it's just, yeah. So here we are. But we got the Rutgers hat on today. And that's kind of like an ode to week 0 of the college football season starting. So very excited about that. We saw, are you a U fan? The U?
Yeah.
I like it, man. How we feeling about
back
this season?
there? On the Mafia.
Very nice.
Yeah, I got to hang in the turnover chain that they don't do anymore, but
they got to bring that back. It's awesome.
Bro, everybody copied us. Remember, it was like everybody had their own version of
Now
the
they got their own
turnover.
thing.
Yeah, but no, I think I'm hoping that the Canes can get back to what they once were, because that football was great when the Canes were good. You know what I mean?
I
Like
agree.
they were so epic. I still think it was the 2002 team. I think I was probably the
2001.
best. 2000,
Best
yeah, I
team
think I was
ever
the
assembled.
best
Yeah.
ever, man. And I still think too, they have in that era probably the most first round draft picks.
17.
Yeah, it was wild, and the amount of Hall of Famers too.
Yeah.
That are from the U and guys that aren't even in yet, like Andre Johnson. Like there were, man, I'm telling you guys, go back and look at the amount of talent that came out of the 90s and early 2000s. It was wild. The amount of
You know who
talent
was the quarterback of that
Miami.
team?
Of course, man, Ken Dorsey, man.
Kenny
Come
Dorsey,
on, man.
leading that squad. I mean, he had loaded.
He was damn loaded. And running backs too. Don't forget McGahee with the nasty injury. Yep. Frank Gore. Like, bro, those teams were loaded. And anytime we draft a Hurricane, I'm like, I loved it. I'm like, yeah. So
are you guys the real tight end? I feel like Miami's getting slept on. You guys had a string of like 4 consecutive first round tight ends being selected. You had Bubba Franks, Jeremy Shockey.
Mm-hmm.
Then you had Kellen Winslow, who is in prison right now, but hey, he was a good
ball
player.
He could have been really good.
Yeah, right. Greg Olsen after that. I mean,
Greg Olsen.
That's a pretty impressive run. Yeah.
Yeah. The Giants tight end,
Jeremy Shockey.
Shockey.
Yep.
Remember when Shockey? I know we're getting off topic, but remember Shockey's first game, guys. Shockey's first game as a pro, and he did that. I think he ran that dude over.
Yeah.
And everyone's like, "Holy shit, this guy's gonna
He's a
be
real
legit."
deal.
And he was good, but he kind of faded off early in his career. But man. And then they got the guy for New Orleans, the Saints, Graham.
Yeah, Jimmy Graham. Yeah, yep.
He was
a basketball player too. He played basketball and football.
Yes, he started basketball. Yep. Yeah, so they have the talent pool that came out of Miami. Jim Kelly. I mean, just throwing that out there too, guys.
Yep.
Quarterback on the current game. So yeah.
I want to say, first of all, Jake, you always forget to help me out here. I want to say this is the only show that you get ice cold Loganberry on tap, 50-cent wings all night, $1 drinks for the next hour. So tip your staff well by hitting that like button, drop a nickel on that subscribe button, and share it. I mean, get out there and share, please. It'd help us greatly if you were to share our channel. We're 18 subs away from 1,500. Huge milestone for us, Jake. I mean, huge. So we thank you all for the support that you give us on a regular basis. But let's get to 1,500. We want to try to get there before opening day. Bills Monday Night Football.
We can do it. We got time.
We can do it. We got time. All right. So we talked about Dotson, but let's talk about some other things. I'll start with you, Jake. I mean, what did you learn throughout camp and preseason? Was there something that surprised you? What are some things that you learned that maybe surprised you, or like, oh my God, we're in trouble here, or you know what, this person really, came out of nowhere. So anything you learned in this preseason going into regular season?
I'm going to go both sides of the ball. We'll start with offense. Trent Sherfield, did everything right. This guy came in, had incredible chemistry with Josh Allen, has looked good throughout the entire preseason, and he did not disappoint at all. Like, when we first signed him, we had Dolphins fans reaching out to us, Mike, and Keith that will actually say too. I think we got a really good one in him. At first, I thought maybe it was like a slot receiver, but also a replacement for Jake Kumaro because he played some gunner. But now I am more along the lines of this guy could actually go off this year, maybe have like a 600-yard season for us. Like, I feel like he's going to be a legitimate impact for this offense. The fact that he can play outside and inside is very impressive as well. He's a really good blocker, not afraid to get dirty. And obviously not afraid to play specials when he needs to. But I have a feeling that gunner spot is now going to go to Justin Shorter, if I'm making any guesses on that. But I love what I saw from him, and I'm so impressed. And Josh loves him, so he's been just hyping him up, saying how hard he's worked and everything. So that is really good to see. So I'm really excited about that. So I think that would definitely be my biggest surprise, just in terms of, a guy that I didn't know was really going to be that guy. So he seems to be that guy. Obviously not yet, but I think he will be. On the defensive side of the ball, I don't know why I ever even questioned it. And I feel like I'm beating a dead horse because a lot of people have come out and said this already, but Christian Benford, man, like, what a freaking steal I think it's safe to admit that he was absolutely the steal of last year's draft class. And boy, with a guy like that, who's probably going to be the cornerback number 2, that can also play safety, and is just so smart and consistent on the field, as a 6th-round pick out of freaking Villanova, I mean, he came in and he looked pro ready right from the get-go. So you imagine what he did last year and how he's going to capitalize on that this year. I'm really excited for it. So those are my 2 biggest surprises and I guess happy moments of the Bills preseason thus far.
So Jake, who do you think gets start day one? Is it Benford or is it
Benford.
Dane? You think so?
Definitely Christian Benford. Yeah,
All right.
I think he's locked it up. Dane Jackson's a smart player. He knows the defense. He'll be rotated in, but I feel like day one, it's going to be Christian Benford. I mean, he was day one last year too, remember? So, and now you got to question like the missing piece here, Kaiir Elam, who I still think is a really good football player. Is there a situation where we trade Kaiir Elam? Is that even a thing? Or is he just going to be a rotational guy? I mean, he's absolutely got value on him. I mean, it's only his 2nd year in the defense too. So situationally for him, he's great in press coverage too. So he can go up against bigger guys and press them and be aggressive like he is. But that's been the biggest knock on him is he's overly aggressive at times. But I feel like we knew that when we drafted him. So I don't know. I'm curious to see what happens with that and how it pans out. But day one starter, I think it's going to be Christian Benford at the 2 position.
All right. And I know what Tommy's thought is on that. I'll throw it to you in a sec, Tommy. Kincaid is definitely, Sophia coming in with Kincaid is definitely a surprise. I thought he'd be good, but he might be great out of the gate. So that's what we're all hoping for. I mean, the Bills in the past haven't really used their tight ends, but we've seen every indication that that's going to change this year. Not only did we hear about it in camp, but we've seen it in preseason. So love that. Sean from the Red, White, and Bills, by the way, he's a member. He's a
Sean.
friend of the channel. He does a lot of content with us. So get on over to his channel and give him a like and smash that subscribe button for him. But he says Dane won the job last week. And Tommy, I'll go to you on this one because me and Mikey were talking about this the other night on your show. And we both, I think all of us, think Benford should be out there on the field. But we felt that McDermott wouldn't be bold enough to make that move, and you want the safety net of Dane. What's your thoughts?
I still think that. I think Benford is the better play in my opinion. I think Benford is the younger, more physical, bigger corner. I think he's earned it in my opinion. But I gotta say, Dane's had a very good preseason and good camp.
Yeah.
Like he has looked good. And he had, like I said, he had a good pre. So it's kind of tough, right there because I don't think Benford like outshined him. I think Benford and him were like just neck to neck in what they did in preseason and camp. I think Kaiir is a guy that might just be one of those players that are better off somewhere else in a better defensive scheme. So Bean really needs to think about like, okay, did we make the mistake here? Not a big deal. Let's get something while we can, because if we go another season and Kaiir once again is battling for like the 2nd, 3rd spot, he can't get it, we got a problem, and he's not going to get anything for him, right? And then it's going to wind up being a cut, and that's not good. So, but I would start Benford, no doubt about it. But I think they're going to go with the safe bet, and they're going to go with Dane Jackson. But don't be surprised if you see Benford and Dane kind of swapping out as well during games. They did that last year, if you remember. So, it was Benford and Kaiir and Dane. So I wouldn't be shocked if you see Benford getting some good play time as well. But I have a feeling to start the season, you're going to see Dane as the number 2. But we'll see. He did get a lot of playing time Saturday. So maybe they're just trying to they're evaluating him. And they're gonna, maybe it's just one of those tough calls they got to make, and maybe it's not so simple where it's Dane Jackson. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting when we see that roster, that depth chart.
Yeah, definitely.
I love
the
this.
Trek Reviewer, my good friend here. He and I, we should have put a bet on it, but we've been talking about Cam Lewis. I can't wait for these cuts.
He left him off again.
But Cam could be in the safety, but he brings up a good point here. So he's saying cornerbacks are White, Jackson, Benford, Johnson, Elam, and then in safeties he's got
no Saran Neal.
Yeah, I mean, so you got
That's
Saran,
interesting.
right? And then he's got for safety Hyde,
No,
Poyer,
Marlowe's going to be
Hamlin,
cut. I'd be
Rapp, and
shocked if
Marlowe.
Marlowe
If
makes
I
it.
I'll
think,
tell you what, they would not keep Marlowe over Cam Lewis. If you feel that they're going to
yeah,
keep
no way.
5 in the safety room, they're not keeping that man over Cam Lewis. Track review. I'm
He's doing
telling
it
you.
just to spite you, Mike.
He might. Now they may cut him for other reasons, but if Marlowe's on this team and Cam Lewis is not on this team, I mean, I'm gonna have a problem.
He was a
I will
Marlowe was a perfect addition last year when we needed a safety. Like I didn't mind him. That trade got him for nothing. But right now, I feel like the guys are stepping up. I don't see him making the team, and I feel like Saran Neal has been playing great this
He played
preseason too, so-
fantastic.
Uh,
Yesterday,
yeah, he's
especially.
all over the field, man.
Yeah.
He ain't going anywhere. So
No way.
I just don't see Marlowe making the team, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Sean, I don't totally agree with the Christian Benford take, man. I don't know. I don't think he had a bad preseason at all. I honestly, I was very impressed with his consistency. Now, there was that one play at DJ Moore. Yeah, but and that was, you're saying, yeah, that wasn't even that great. That play on Moore was a horrible pass. That's true. Sure. I don't know. I think he actually did enough to really have a spot as that cornerback too. I don't know. I disagree with that a little bit.
But
Okay,
Dane also got an interception on a terrible pass week
Yeah.
1.
Yeah.
So like
Yeah, it's
you
a
can't
gift.
really. And Dane,
Yeah.
you know, I feel like Benford actually got more playing time than Dane, more snap count. I don't know. I'm just maybe I'm looking at it different, but I just think, in my view, I think Benford is just way more physical than Dane, and I like that part of him. I also think his tackling is better. That's how I see it. But I mean, you can see it how you want, but you know, he's more physical, basically. And,
he made a nice tackle yesterday too. Yeah.
Yeah, you sure did. So I don't know. Like I said, I'm not gonna hate it if Dane's the guy. I expect that anyways.
Right.
And I'm not gonna be like, oh my God, he didn't earn it. Like he had a good preseason too. So I'm not gonna hate on either this whatever decision they make. But if it was my vote, I would go Benford.
I did want to correct there. So Dawson Knox, he did play 14 snaps in this game. So just let you guys know that.
I thought so. It looked too familiar. I'm like, that's
I was
let's
thinking
go.
week two is because you know why I was thinking, because the starters were, I don't know what I was thinking, but week
The
2
starters,
is when is when Kincaid got the start. Like he was the only tight end in there in the beginning because Knox had the finger thing, and then Knox wanted to play. But Knox didn't get any catches though. He was just in there.
He was mainly a blocker. Yeah.
Jake, you want to take this question from Sophia?
Would any team trade us a starting right tackle for Elam and Basham? So here's my thing on that. I think we missed our window. Josh Jones was probably the guy, if we were to trade for anyone, that would maybe be the guy that would, I guess, accept the trade. But instead, he went to the Texans. And it's unfortunate because I think teams right now, the positions that they're in, not many teams have a great offensive line, first off. And that depth piece of the offensive line is so huge. So right now, with where teams are at, I don't think any team is going to be willing to trade a tackle at this moment right now.
Not a starting tackle.
Not a starting tackle for sure. Yeah.
It like I wouldn't mind him, you know, pulling a trade for like, you know, a quality depth guy, but not for just one-on-one, not Elam for a quality depth guy. I would want Elam, quality depth, offensive lineman, right tackle, and a pick. You know what I mean? Something like that. Boogie Basham, same thing. Like you're going to get, like for Boogie, I think you can get easily probably like a 5th round. Something like
absolutely.
That.
Yeah.
And Elam, he's a 1st round pick. He still has depends on what teams see on him, but he could probably get a 3rd, 4th,
I would think
somewhere around there.
Yeah.
Which would be fine. You know, at this point, you're not using them anyways. But starting right tackle is not going to happen. Like, I think what is going to happen, I think Bean's going to wait, be patient, like he always is. He's going to wait for cuts, and you're going to start seeing guys picked up Tuesday or Wednesday, whatever. When you're going to start hearing people getting picked up later in the week. So that's what he's waiting for. He's waiting for us to get lucky and find a guy that he doesn't need to trade anybody for. But I think he's going to have to trade one of these guys because you can't. I don't think
I
Boogie's
know.
making the team, man. And you got to get rid of him. Now, Elam's iffy. Like, I think Elam could be a good corner, but if you're not, if you got to come to the realization, if he's not right for the defense, then make a move. Like, then you can't just have him sitting around. Like, you got to get something. So we'll see. It's going to be interesting. Very
That
interesting.
hurts me to say too, man, because I really was high on Kaiir Elam. That's the guy I wanted the Bills to take last year, and they did. And I was so excited because we had that guy who was physical and not your typical zone scheme corner. And I thought we were going to do maybe rolling a different type of defense even, but we stayed put, and he's just not picking it up, and it sucks. It really hurts.
He's too handsy. They're saying last year they had him wear gloves and this year he's getting into it with Diggs, and Dorsey's out there telling him, "Yo, you got to chill out." Like I don't know what it is with the dude, but also too the mental side of things. Like he had that interview. I don't know if you guys saw it, where he's like, "I've always been the best throughout like high school and college. Like I was one of the best players on the team, and now it's like I'm learning. Like I'm there. I'm not the best right now, and it's hard for him to like. He's basically admit that to himself. Like I got to work hard and get. You know what I mean? Like so maybe like mentally, like you got to remember, like he probably came in there going, "Hey, I'm gonna be the man." I mean, you remember. Give me that playbook. Remember? I want the playbook. I want to learn. Like he was amped up, but you got to think though, as a player like that, if he's always been like the top guy on where throughout high school playing, and now all of a sudden he's on the bottom, year 2, it probably's taking a little bit of a hit on him mentally. You know what I mean? Like when am I good enough? You know what I mean? It has to, right? So I don't know, man. I hope That's why I kind of hope sometimes they need a fresh landing spot to get.
It sucks too because I feel like he played well too though last year at times. Like he had some big plays that Chiefs game, especially.
He did.
And I don't know.
Yes, he had
like a
bright
disconnect
spots
now.
Yeah, disconnect, or maybe like I told you, the mental thing. Maybe he's thinking too much. It's in his head. He's making these mistakes. He gets a penalty, and then gets a penalty in a game, and then it's too much going on. I don't know. Right. But I've seen flashes, like you said last year. He has a talent.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I don't know. But he makes a lot of mistakes. He's too handsy, and you can't have that. You can't have penalties like that. They'll kill you. PIs will kill you.
It's well put by Sean though. No. He said he's disappointed in me because I gave up on him too quick. No, I haven't given up on him. I just feel like if he's going to be the cornerback 4. And we're not going to use him, you may as well get something for him. It sucks because, Sean makes a very good point here saying basically the coaches, I don't know if they don't believe in him or, mentally, like Tommy said, mentally, it's got to be taking a toll on him because he's just not right. There's something there. It's not clicking.
But the thing with Brown, and I know because Sean doesn't like Spencer Brown, but here's the deal. It's a big difference. For me, for the two, one's a first round draft pick, and the other's a 3rd round guy that they knew needed work. He was he was a project player. He's a raw player. He didn't play the position long. This is a totally different. Kaiir Elam played that position. He was a corner all his career. Like they knew what they were getting in Kaiir. Now, mind you, of course, obviously they know he needed work, right? Every rookie, but Brown was a totally different thing. And Brown wasn't even supposed to start his rookie year. He was thrown in there because we were so bad. They had no choice but to throw Spencer Brown in there. Then he got set back with the injury. So you kind of got to give him benefit of the doubt. Now, we'll see this season. I told you, and I'm a realist. If he's not the guy this year, if he's still making mistakes, right? Now that he had a whole offseason with Aaron Cromer to fix this stuff, if he's still doing that, then he's not the guy. It is what it is, okay? But with Kaiir Elam, he's a 1st round draft pick, and he's not even 2nd. He's not even 3rd. Like he's starting to fall down the depth chart. That's not good. And before you know it, he's not worth anything to anybody. And then we're just cutting him. So you got to make that a choice eventually. That's where I'm going with that.
Yeah. My only take on that is that it's close. I don't think there's that big of a difference. I don't think it's like it's Benford and there's this huge drop off. And
I think there is though, Mike.
I respect your opinion there, but let me say this. like Jake, you already said, we saw the guy make some big plays last year, right?
Yeah.
We saw Elam, big interception against the Chiefs, couple big interceptions that last year, and then a big fourth down stop, I think, in the playoffs. And he's going to get on the field. He's going to get some play time. And what better way to turn things around? And I kind of said this too. I went back and forth. I'm like, all right, he's handsy. He's going to get some PIs, but I believe he has the highest ceiling of all three of these corners. Let the man get a couple pick sixes or just a couple more interceptions when he's out there. Make the most of his time, and this narrative changes quickly. So
ask Tommy the question you asked me. Actually, this is
but
good.
My problem,
Mike.
my problem is though they didn't even give him the opportunity this year, like to play with the ones and two. Like he was playing with 3s and 4s the whole preseason. Yeah. So it was almost like they already lost. That's what I'm they already lost faith in him. If they're because why not give him why not say, okay, he's in year 2. He's been a little handsy in practice and training camp, but let's still get him out there with the 1s and 2s and see. Let's see him compete, right? Let's see if he wants it, how bad he wants it. I don't think they trust him enough. They didn't even trust him enough in preseason where it really doesn't matter. The end result doesn't matter. So why not throw him out there and learn from his mistakes? I don't think he's even close. That's what I'm saying. Like, I think it's Dane Jackson and Benford. And the only way he sees playing time is if one of those guys get hurt, in my opinion. I think I think he's way on the bottom of the totem pole, man.
Right.
I know it's Bills
I don't want that. I don't want that.
It's a fair take. I just want to say,
but why not give him a chance? You know what I mean? If they feel like he has anything to offer,
as a first-round pick too, you would think.
Right, second year. It's not
give
even
him every opportunity.
Right.
But, yeah.
The first year, I'll admit, I was upset, Mike, when we started week 1, and I'm like, what the hell is our first-round pick? Why is Benford out there?
Yeah.
Right. Now, mind you, I heard all the talk about Benford in camp last year. I'm like, okay, hey, listen, I'm not the coach. I'm not out there. If they believe in Benford outplayed him, it is what it is. But I was still thinking, what the fuck? Why would you draft this guy first round and he's getting beat by a 6th round? Like, makes no sense. And then he came in periodically, and I'm like, okay, but I kind of saw flashes. I'm like, I don't get it. But then you saw some flashes of real bad, right? Penalties and just, not good coverage. And then this year, it's like, okay, he's going to get an opportunity. Now it's year 2. I'm sure he learned some, and we're here right now talking about him being traded possibly. Like, that's not good. Like, you know what I mean? So if we're talking about it, trust me, he is understanding this. I don't know. I feel bad for the dude, but in the same time, maybe a new landing spot, it will work for him. Like, but if they keep him, cool. But I just hope he gets an opportunity. But I just don't know how that's going to happen, guys. That's where I'm at right now. Like, Dane Jackson's on a 1-year deal, right? So this is his last year with Buffalo unless he resigns. And Benford, if he beats out Dane, let's say Benford is the guy at CB2 this year, hypothetically. And let's say Benford has a good season at CB2. And then what are we talking about next offseason for Kaiir Elam? You get what I'm saying, Mike? Let's say Benford does a really good job and Dane leaves, Dane goes, right? It's his last year anyways. So what are we talking about for Kaiir? Because you got Trey and you got Benford, who had a good season. Let's say he does. So now where's Kaiir? Where's that land Kaiir?
As your depth.
And that 3rd-round pick you could get from this year.
Now you see where I'm saying.
But I'm sort of on the other end here. I feel like we saw him enough. I would have loved to see him starting. I was with you, Tommy. Like, what the heck? Kair's not starting last year. This is a guy Jake and I wanted. We nailed it when the draft came that year. Again, we looked at corners. We knew we needed a corner because Levi was moving on. We knew he was moving on. And, of course, we'd have liked Sauce Gardner, Trent McDuffie, but we knew they were going to go earlier on, right? We knew they were going early. So we were looking at guys that could have fallen to us, and Kaiir was that guy. So Jake and I were like, that's the guy we want. Boom, we get him. You don't usually hit that. I mean, it's odd. It's rare when you're able to predict that pick. Yeah. But it is, again, I hear you, Tommy. I guess I'm just being my optimistic self.
I get it. Listen, I get it.
I'm going to tell you something. I'm calling it right now. he's going to make a pick six, and all of a sudden the narrative's going to change. And look,
I hope, yeah.
and look, so that's what I'm going to go with there.
But I hope so. I do. Like I hope at one point in the season he his name gets called, and he gets on the field and things click, right? And he's playing lights out. Like I want that. I like that dude. I liked him when we drafted him. I liked his attitude, but the reality is, can you play football? Can you play on this team? Right? What McDermott wants you to do. And right now, maybe not. And maybe he's struggling with that. And you guys know he's not like he's a man defender. He's not a zone defender. And
press coverage,
he's had struggle with that. So I don't know.
Yeah.
I'm going to say this goes one or two ways. Either we get rid of him now, or, and this is best case scenario, I think I would love if this happened. He turns into what Jimmy Smith, former first round pick for the Ravens, who ended up playing 11 seasons with the Ravens, turned into, because it actually reminds me exactly of what he went through. So he's this first round pick, and he's playing behind, I think it was Kerry Williams and Corey Graham, former Bill Corey Graham at the time.
Yeah.
They were both the starting corners ahead of him. And he's a bigger corner, similar, 6'2", 210, right? He comes in, he's highly touted. I think he only started a few games his first year, ends up getting benched. And then the next year played very sparingly. And then it wasn't until his third season that he really absorbed the playbook, took it all in, and he got to be that very solid corner for them for years to come. And of course he battled through injuries and whatnot, but I'm hoping that's what this situation turns into. And I do still have faith in Kyer. It's just, if realistically the Bills are not going to play him at all, and he's just going to be that cornerback 4 guy that barely comes in, I don't understand why you don't trade him. But if you do plan on rotating him in, and that cornerback 4 is just a placeholder more or less, but he's going to get PT, then get him out there and let's hope he turns into that guy, Jimmy Smith. Like I said, for the Ravens, I think it's a great example right there.
We got Jessica coming in with Elam as a starting level corner. Just Jackson and Benford are better in this system, which goes back to Sean's point that he's been saying is why do you draft a guy that was press coverage, really doesn't fit your scheme? Why are you drafting him? So good question there. Let me just
maybe they thought they could, because there's players like that, by the way.
The clay,
that they can mold. There's been a lot of that, a guy that plays right tackle and winds up being right guard. You know what I mean? They move him. So there's been many cases of that, a player used to a different system or a different way, and then makes it work for him. But maybe it's just not clicking for Elam. That's what I'm saying. So I don't. We're in year 2, man. Then we're gonna go to year 3 and year 4. Eventually, they're gonna have to make the decision. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, I agree. I mean, I just want to say, so we use PFF just for a tool. I mean, you take it for what it's worth, but all the corners lit up the board for PFF. They're never this friendly to Bills folks, but let me tell you, Kyer Elam, he played 29 snaps. In yesterday's game, we gave him a grade of 76.2, 74 on coverage, 69.8 on run. I mean, green. Dane Jackson, of the 3, was the lowest. He played 14 snaps, and his grade was a 66.7, or I'm sorry, 65.7. Still not quite green, but he's getting close to it. And then Benford, I don't think I've ever seen these scores ever. He played 17 snaps. They gave him a grade of 83.9. His coverage was 80.4. His tackling was 71. His run defense was 70. I've never seen that type of scores. But so that goes back to what Sophia was saying, as somebody did some film coverage on him from yesterday's game, saying why he could win that cornerback too. So interesting stuff. Interesting. So let's see here. Jessica also comes in and says, this is Jackson's 4th year in the system. It took him 3 years to start. Oh, good points there for sure. So we'll see.
True. That's true. But he's also a 7th round pick. You're talking 1st round pick here. So it's a little bit of a different situation, right? I feel like with Kyer, you're supposed to give him every opportunity to start. And I don't know what's going on in that locker room. I don't know if it is the coaching staff just totally losing faith in the guy. But obviously there were some issues last year. Sean mentioned work ethic. And Tommy said it too. He came in, he gets drafted by the Bills, and he asked for the playbook right away. So I don't really question the work ethic part of it. So is it just his playing ability? Like, is it just not being disciplined? I don't really know. Maybe that is. Yeah.
Sarah wants to know how Levi ever beat out Dane Jackson.
Because he was probably better at the time.
Yeah.
I mean, now, mind you, it's like Mikey hated Levi Wallace. I don't hate anyone that earns an undrafted free agent. He earned his spot on the team. Was he the best? Of course not. He's an okay corner, but you got to respect the dude for earning that. And honestly, at that time, Dane Jackson probably wasn't better. He probably was not better than Levi Wallace. And Levi Wallace got paid, went in Pittsburgh and did okay. So I'm not going to hate on Levi Wallace for what he did here. He wasn't the best, but I don't think he was the worst either. But no, I think it took Dane a little bit, no doubt. But you got to remember too, and we're not thinking about this, Dane Jackson was CB1 last year.
Yeah.
Trey White didn't come back till late. So he was going against the top receivers in the NFL. And I think a lot of people forget about that. We just look at Dane Jackson CB2. Last year he was CB1. So, I didn't think he was terrible. I just thought I thought the problem with Dane last year for me was when he got beat, he got back in the play, but he didn't make a play on the ball. Like he always seemed to be just the guy would always make the catch. He just could not make a play on the ball. And I think Benford does a better job with that. So we'll see once again. But yeah, I thought Dane stepped up later in his career and he earned it, just like Levi earned it when he was here. So that's where we're at right now. But yeah, I'm still not satisfied with CB2, but we'll see what Benford does.
Yeah. John Robert coming in with a reminder. John Butler called defensive plays against Chicago.
I'm a firm believer that DB coaches make the best defensive coordinators. That's what Sean McDermott, that was his start too. So he did a tremendous job. He knows his personnel, and he was very friendly with how he ran the defense yesterday to his corners. He knew their strengths and played to it, which is fantastic.
When I heard that, by the way, I called Mikey. I'm like, oh my God, we got to talk about this Monday because it is an interesting take. But if you think about it, so I've been saying all along, McDermott, this is a lot of pressure on McDermott, right? This season, in my opinion, right? And he has a lot. He's like a juggling act right now, right? He's taken on defensive coordinator and head coach. And I feel like the preseason week 2 was so bad. Week 1 wasn't the greatest either in penalties and just miscues. And week 2 was so bad. I almost felt like week 3 was a redo of week 2. And that's why he had the starters out there. And he just wanted to focus on coaching. And that's why he went and put him up there, Butler, to call defensive plays. But they asked him, okay, is this going to be a thing in the regular season? He said, I can't answer that right now. So very interesting that he would say that. But I will say, look at the difference between week 2 and week 3 when he wasn't calling defense. It was a much cleaner game. The offense, like the penalties were very minimal. I don't know, man. Like I almost think like it would be the right thing for him to have Butler up there, and maybe he could still be on the mic, being part of the defense, saying, "Hey, no, let's do that." Yeah, he could still do that, but I just feel like it's just too much for him, and it kind of showed early on in preseason. But we'll see what happens. But it is interesting that already he made somebody else call the play calls in week 3, and it was a much cleaner game. And then when they asked him, like I said, he didn't say, no, that was just now, and I'm going to be like, he didn't say that. So it is interesting. You guys got to know. It's very interesting.
Yeah.
Now they have been doing a little bit of that. Like it's kind of cool. Like Coach Vrabel, I know he let one of his assistants like assume the head coaching job for specific games. So it is a common thing that you're starting to see around the league that coaches are letting their position coaches take on higher roles just to kind of get a taste of what it's like. So it might just be that. So I don't want to read too much into it, but like Tommy said, I mean, it was clean, man. He did a great job. He made some excellent calls yesterday.
Yeah. Yeah. And like I said, though, McDermott still could be
by title
plays in a right by title.
Sure.
He could still. I mean, how look at Andy Reid. And what's his name? When he right, come on, you know he was very heavily involved in playing offensive play calling. But the title went to Bieniemy.
Right.
McDermott could do the same thing. Like, that's why I was a little surprised, like, that he took on this role. And maybe, like I said, maybe now, and we'll see, maybe he's realizing, hey, maybe it is better if I have Butler doing it, and I'll we'll communicate. You know what I mean? Hey,
Right.
I don't like that. Let's do it. Like, I'm good with that. But we'll see. I have no idea what's going to happen. But maybe him and Bean got together and after week 2 was like, hey man, I do need to just really put a lot of my concentration on just the head coaching side of things. But we'll find out. We'll find out week 1. I'm very curious.
The channel has chimed in on that. I'm going to catch up on the channel here. So I do like this from Sean. I mean, it's not like Elam comes in and gets cooked. Absolutely right. This guy's like all over. I mean, have you ever seen him off a player like just got burnt on a route? No, he is all over the receiver or whoever he's guarding. Just got to, I mean, and again, you love that. I mean, he's not getting cooked. That's a great point. And then Sarah comes in and says, yep, and Levi was always 10 yards behind. And same thing with Dane. Dane's the same type of player. And then let's see here. We got, here we go.
Difference between, by the way, Levi and Dane is Levi didn't have the speed to catch up. He you know what I mean? Like, Dane has the speed if he's beaten on a route to catch up and make a play on the ball. That was Levi's. That was the only like problem with me, like with Levi, was he just didn't have the speed to catch up when he was beaten to get back in on the play. He relied on like Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer. Like, prime example is the game against I'm pretty sure it was him against the Patriots. Pretty sure it was him that got beat on the interception that Hyde made.
It was, yes.
Because if Hyde didn't make the play on the ball, that's an interception. He beat him. Yeah. There was no way that Levi was getting in, making a play on the ball. So he relied heavily on Micah Hyde and Jordan Poyer to save him on those plays. So, he just could not. That was my take on Levi. It was the only downfall really of him, because I thought he was a pretty good defender. He just was, once he got beat, he just could not make the play. And Dane has a little bit more speed. Because go back, look at the film last year. Dane wouldn't be there. He was never like truly beaten on anything where it was like, oh my God, Dane was just he was always there, but he just didn't make the play on the ball for some reason. Like,
always in position.
Swatted away. Yeah. Always in position. Just, they got him every time. And I was like, God, Dane, come on, man. Like, do something there. So, and that's, like I said, that's why I like Benford more, because I think Benford's a little bit more physical with that. So, but we'll see.
Yeah. So Sarah says, this is what McDermott said. I thought he said he only did it so he could evaluate the roster bubble players. I probably heard wrong. And then Sean backed that up and said he did say that. So interesting there. Then Sarah saying Justin Fields wasn't exactly lighting it up, though. He's still green. Better offenses will still give us problems like Garrett Wilson. Yeah, Sarah, absolutely right. I mean, again, for me, it was a momentum builder. I expected them to do what they did. I expected them to go down on the first drive and score a touchdown, and they did just that. They should do that against a defense like the Bears. Get a little momentum. But you're right. I mean, we're going to see Monday Night Football against one of the best defenses out there, who gave us a battle in both the games last year. And you can argue they've gotten better. So it's going to be interesting there. So, Tommy, I mean, we talked about Jake's surprises, and were there anything you've learned throughout camp that surprised you or didn't surprise you?
I mean, I'll piggyback the Trent Sherfield, but I said, like, when we signed him, I'm like, man, this guy, I'm telling y'all, like, he had a really good season with Miami, and he was like the 4th target there, because you got to remember there was Hill, Waddle, and then Gesicki was basically receivers. Like, Gesicki's kind of like Kincaid, like, he's not like a blocking tight end, he's more of a receiving tight end. So really, too, that was like a 4th option, and I felt like I think he had a little over 400 yards. He had a really good season, made some really good catches. He's taller, he has good speed. I think he ran like a 4.4 or 4.3 or 4.4, something like that. So he's not slow by any means. And then when Diggs had that thing, with the mini camp thing, they had Sherfield at 1. With Allen, and they were already getting a connection, I was like, okay, if they're already feeling each other like on this connection, I'm like, hey, I can't wait to see once training camp heats up in preseason. and he's shined. He's looked really, really good. The other guy I would say, Latavius Murray, great pickup, smart pickup. I know he's aging, but man, go back, look at his film last year.
Yeah.
Dude still has some good speed. He's a power back. I like him. I love that pickup, smart pickup, because Harris, once again, I'm just so nervous about his injury history, and he already got hurt early on in camp, right? And so who knows how long this dude can last during the NFL season, because if you go back, look at his track record, not very good. He only had one season, 2019, I believe it was, or 2021, where he had the 19 touchdowns. After that, though, or before that and after that, it's been like 5 games, 6 games, 8 games. Like, he just doesn't stay healthy. So it's a risky play for Harrison. That's why it was a 1-year deal. If you look at Murray's been pretty healthy. So I like that pickup. It's a smart pickup. So he's been a surprise that he's shown that he's still capable, and he's going to make this roster. And then on defense, I guess Benford's still shining, man. Year 2, you would think maybe year 1 was kind of a fluke, and Kyer Elam would jump him because he's first round. I don't know. Benford just seems like he wants it more. So yeah, I would say Benford as far as defense. And of course, I'm going to also say, somebody said Dalton Kincaid. I didn't realize how good this dude was. I think he dropped 1 pass this whole training camp preseason, and it was like underthrown. Like, and he still almost made the catch. Like, this dude's legit. He's going to be really, really good for this team. But I am surprised that a young guy like that can just come out automatically and just be that good, and be a weapon that quick. Yeah. So no,
he's good when your tight end 2 is going before your tight end 1 in fantasy.
I know, nuts. I picked him up, by the way, but yeah, crazy. But because I'm telling you, he's more of a hybrid. I don't even consider him a tight end. I just think he's a playmaker. That's it. He's a playmaking a guy that could go anywhere on the field on offense and be a weapon. And that's how they're going to use him. They're going to use 12 personnel, a lot. He's going to be in the slot. He's going to be on the outside. He's going to be all over, and he's going to be Josh Allen's new security blanket that we once had with Cole Beasley. But this is a taller, faster, more physical, at least for me, than Beasley was. Security blanket, and Josh's going to love him, man. We're going to love him. So, yeah, man.
I made a note in the game yesterday. Bills out on the field on their first drive were in 12 personnel. Both Kincaid and Knox were out there. So it was like, man, this is it. This is what we're expecting to see a lot of. And it was great that they came out of the gates with that. So let's see here. As far as me, I mean, you guys covered everything. I mean, what I learned. And I learned, the big thing I learned is Osiris Torrance is the guy at right guard. And, Tommy, flowers to you. I mean, you've been calling it all along. I'll give you your flowers. I was just overly cautious. I keep saying that, but look,
yeah, I get it.
He is the guy, and I'm super happy that the Bills finally weren't cautious with one of their high draft picks. Like, unlike Kyer, they've got this guy starting at right guard. He's been the starter all throughout preseason, and he's looked the part. I mean, he looks like a seasoned veteran already, based on the film we showed today, based on the things we've been seeing in the other 2 games. So, hats off to the Bills for trusting him and getting him out there on the field. And man, can't wait to see him
right away too, by the way.
Yeah, exactly. Can't wait to see him day 1 going again. So it's going to be, he's going to be it's going to be a big challenge. Monday Night Football, man. Can't wait for that battle. Goodness, it's going to be fantastic.
Tall task. Quinnen Williams, baby. Let's go. Let's see it.
Doesn't get any bigger there, man.
Yep.
Let's see here. What do we got?
John, yes, you are correct. Actually, we showed a little breakdown at the start of the show, and that very first series, right away, it was, he was basically standing in front of James Cook to give a little extra help, little chip, and then he went out to the flats. Yeah, it was awesome to see. I'm just salivating just thinking about what we can do with all the weapons we have right now. It's going to be fun.
Yeah, Jessica, that's why I said, it's going to be a big challenge, the Bears line. Nothing like Pittsburgh's line, but he did a good job against Pittsburgh as well.
He did. I was just about to say that.
And that's one of your.
He held his own.
One of your best defenses you're going to go against. So the Jets feel pretty good that Torrance will be up for the challenge. Trek Reviewer, what you got going on, sir? I cracked up when the refs gave number 12 for Buffalo.
I saw that too
yesterday.
Yeah.
What's that about?
It's not possible. So,
Oh.
because number 12 is retired, but yeah, they said I forget what it even was. But I heard that too. That's hilarious.
I think it was on Justin Shorter.
Yes,
if I'm not mistaken. Okay.
Yes.
I think we overhype our D line. I'm being a little unbiased.
So how do you feel, Sean? I want your thoughts on Leonard Floyd and what you thought of him this preseason. Like, I think the biggest knock on him coming to this team, and actually when he was getting drafted, was the fact that he couldn't really set the edge and didn't play very well against the run. His pass rushing skills have never been questioned. He's always been very good at that. But when it comes to stopping the run, I don't know if he's really lived up to that hype of being a first-round pick. Tommy, I want your thoughts on that too, actually, now that I'm talking about it.
I mean, I think Leonard Floyd it was one of our best pickups in the offseason.
Oh, absolutely. I agree.
I think I would be extremely worried if we didn't pick him up going into the season. And that's not a knock on Epinesa, who's looked better.
Mm-hmm.
But Leonard Floyd brings veteran leadership, and has averaged like 9 sacks for the last 3 seasons. Like, he's only getting better. He's smart. He's been around. And I think people wanted to see more in preseason, but listen, McDermott, like, even offensive and defensive coordinators are not going to show you anything. They're not going to do anything exotic. They're not going to. So it was basically, for me, was more like these starters knocking the rust off. You weren't seeing anything, like I said, on offense or defense as far as exotic plays go. So they weren't rushing in Floyd. They were giving him very minimal snap count. I don't even know what his snap count was, but I didn't see him on the field long, right? So I expect him to be a beast again. I think he's definitely can get 9 sacks again around his range this season. And wait till Von Miller comes back. So when Von Miller comes back, you're going to see, and I think, even though we're a 4-3 defense, I still think you're going to see a 3-4 defense pop in from time to time with Floyd on the field with Miller and Rousseau. So it's going to be interesting. But no, I think that's a great pickup, man. I think he could stop the run. Is he as good as Von Miller stopping the run? No. But who is Epinesa? Was he a better play at that? You know what I mean? It's like,
right.
So no, I'm totally good with Floyd.
I still think Shaq Lawson is our best run defender.
Shaq Lawson
showed again,
and that's why you can't get rid of Shaq Lawson.
Right.
And we were talking about that the other night. I think Shaq Lawson is definitely our best run defender, but that's why you can't get rid of Shaq Lawson. But I'm talking about overall pressure to the quarterback and making plays. You have to have Leonard Floyd is that guy until Von gets back, and then I still think they're going to figure a way to get him on the field. And you know that McDermott loves doing the rotational thing. So you're going to see a lot of that still with these veteran players, and they love it, So yeah, we'll be fine. We'll be just fine.
I like it. He does make a case. I was very impressed with Greg Rousseau with the run game as well, especially in the preseason. So you make a very good case here, Jessica. I won't knock you on that.
I thought he was good first year at run defense.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He's like what, 6'7"? I think
huge.
Something like.
Yeah.
So
I mean, he's Groot for a reason, right? He's long,
and he has some speed to him. He can get.
Yeah.
There was a play the other day. I think it was Fields was getting out, and he almost got him, or it was the backup quarterback. I forget who it was, but he almost got to him, man. He was a minute away, and he almost caught up to him. Like, Groot has some speed to him, man.
He flies. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. John Roberts says, I think they were real basic in preseason. Absolutely. I was
Always,
talking about that the other night.
You ain't showing your cards.
Were you guys upset we didn't get to see Nate Peterman yesterday?
No, come on.
I was.
Were you? Nah.
Nate Peterman.
Just telling you. So Nate Peter, is it Nate Peterson? I forget. Is it
Nate Peterman?
Nate Peterman.
Peterman.
Okay, so
Nathan Peterman.
I know.
I'm out here in Cali, right? And I get tickets to that Charger game where he starts.
Right? Yes.
Right. So we're running a little late. I get there, and already he had thrown the one interception early. So I sit down, and I was there to witness that debacle. It was something to be said. Let me tell you that much.
So bad. It was
It
so
was.
bad.
It was.
Well, the reason why I say that too, he's listed as the QB3 for the Bears right now, and all we saw yesterday was Tyson Bagent. Shout out to him, undrafted out of Shepherd.
Not bad, right?
D2 school. Are you kidding me?
I know.
Listed as a QB2 right now.
He made one bad mistake. Was it
Yeah.
interception? Was it something I'm sure he'll learn from watching film, but that was a bad throw. But other than that, yeah, I thought for a backup quarterback, he reminds me a little bit like Heineke. You know what I mean?
Yes.
On the move. You know what I mean? Like a little high energy. Heineke's that high energy guy. Like perfect backup guy to come in. You know, if you need him for a game or two, get the crowd behind you. Never going to take the starting job from your starter.
It's a guy you root for.
Yeah, it's a guy you root for. Exactly. High energy. And players rally behind those kind, like Mike White. You know what I mean? Like,
yes,
there's certain quarterbacks that are backups. You know they're never going to be the starter, but the troops rally around. Like the rest of the players, like, all right, hey, Mike White's coming in. Like, he ain't gonna ever be the starter, but we like this dude. We're gonna rally behind this guy. We're gonna win this game for Mike White. Like, you gotta have. I don't know if the players will ever rally around Kyle Allen.
That's fair. Matt Barkley, they would though. I think they would.
They would, but he's such a noodle arm, bro. He wouldn't. I told everybody, calm down after week 1.
Yeah,
he was playing against the threes and fours. I know Matt Barkley. I've seen enough Matt Barkley. And what did you see week 2 was a total disaster. So, the reason why I think Kyle's better than Matt right now is he has a better arm. He's more mobile. Let's be real. But he's not a landslide that is beating him at QB2, which is sad, but he will be the QB2. Agreed.
Yeah. Jessica, just want to say Kyle Allen interception was completely acceptable due to the down and distance and location on the field. 3rd and 15 at the Bears 42.
I gotta say something. I freaking love the women coming in here with straight up facts. Like, you guys know the freaking game. We need to get one of you on the show here because I feel like it has been all men all the time on this, and these girls are coming in here freaking running circles around us. I love it. It's great.
I'll take Bailey Zappi all day over Kyle Allen.
I would too.
In a heartbeat.
I would
in
too.
A heartbeat.
Bailey Zappi. That's a guy you rally around right there.
Right, in a heartbeat.
Hey, we're running a little late tonight, so we have extended the dollar drinks again. We've been doing that every week, I think, since we started the Sunday Night Bills talk. So get your dollar drinks. We're going to talk a little bit about the 53-man cut coming up. We're not going to go over roster projections. Jake and I did that earlier in the year, way early in the year, probably too early. And I know Jake and the guys talked a little bit about it last week on the Wednesday tailgate show. And then Tommy, I know you're going live tomorrow, and I should talk with
hell yeah, Tommy,
with Mikey to kind of give your 53-man projection. But I want to kind of talk about just some of the bubble spots, and Jake, I want to throw this to you because our guy Timmy has been saying Khalil Shakir is that surprise cut, and Isabella makes the team. And the only way, to me, Isabella makes the team if they do some roster magic and put Khalil on IR temporarily because his ribs are banged up. He didn't play yesterday. And then Isabella stays around for a few more weeks. That's the only way. But I want to go back to you on this. Are you still thinking? I don't know if you were in agreement. I could never tell if you're in agreement with Timmy or not. But what's your thoughts on that bubble spot? Because honestly, it would be if Khalil didn't make the team, it would be because Isabella beat him out.
He is this is interesting, actually. I want to bring up what Sarah says here. Stashed on IR. So if that's the case, doesn't take up a roster spot.
That's what I said, though. That's what I started with. I said he'd
if
be on
that
IR.
Happens.
He did. Yeah. Mike says,
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what, that's what the talk of the town is that possibly. But again, let's throw that out. Let's say his ribs aren't bothering him. Is this
He's on the team. He's on the team.
Make Isabella or
no. I'm saying Khalil Shakir is on the team for sure.
Right, thank you.
He's a lock. Andy Isabella, as much as I really want him on the team, I said this last show, I feel like he's going to be a practice squatter. He did enough to show that he can play in the league still and make an impact, but we're not going to use him as our main return guy. I just don't buy it. I think Deontay Hardy is totally locked that position up. So, and then the rumor is we brought Ty Johnson in to be a replacement for Nyheim Hines. Whether I buy that or not, I don't at all. I think he's gone, unfortunately. So yeah, I think Andy Isabella, unfortunately, is going to be a practice squatter. And that hurts. That hurts because I really would love to keep 7 if we can, but
yeah.
Just
What's
too
your
many
thoughts
mouths.
on that, Tommy?
I'm not. Listen. Receiving wise, he's interesting. Like it is intriguing when for me, like to think about what he could do because he's shown, flashes out there when he had the opportunity. Decent route runner. I'm not gonna lie. Yards after catch was good, but returning terrible. And I think they brought him in here for special teams for a returner.
That was the main reason originally.
And I saw. Listen, I when I saw his film, which is very minimal, by the way. I saw nothing that was like, oh wow, this guy could take it. Like he did. I didn't see anything that impressed me. And then he got opportunity, and look, he fumbled week 3. I mean, like you can't do that. He didn't do anything spectacular, anyways, other than that. But I liked his receiving. It's intriguing. But Khalil Shakir, man, I still have faith in him. I still think that dude could play. I still think that dude could be a good receiver in the NFL. There was no way in hell that they're cutting Khalil Shakir. I would be shocked if they cut Khalil Shakir, because last year I felt like Khalil Shakir came in when we needed a receiver, which, by the way, he wasn't even supposed to play if it wasn't for the Crowder injury. Right. Came in against the Baltimore the Ravens, which we were kind of struggling. If you guys go back in that game, we weren't playing the best. Shakir came in and made some great catches right away. The moment wasn't too big. I felt like the game for him last year, you know how they say a lot of rookies, the game's so fast and it takes a little while for the game to slow down for him. I felt like last year for Shakir, he came in and almost was like a pro. Like the way he talked to the media, the way he played, he handled himself very, very well and made some big catches. Even in the playoffs versus the Dolphins, he made some really good catches. So I think they see the upside of Khalil Shakir. He had a good college career as well. So it's not like this is a bum player. We're just, maybe he could be, Duke Wayne, maybe, like
Duke
the
Williams.
guy has, he
man.
has potential to be a good player in the NFL. There's no way because if they cut him, someone's going to pick him up. There's no way in hell he will be out there. Now, place on IR, totally different. Nobody can touch him. If that's the plan, then maybe Isabella makes the squad. But I don't know, man. I think what you saw week 3 with Hardy playing with the ones early on and getting involved early, I think right there kind of tells you a lot right there. I think Hardy's going to be that guy there in the slot. So I don't, and the over the top guy. So I don't know. I don't think Andy Isabella makes team. And I think you could stash him on the practice squad. I don't think anyone picks him up. And if someone does, who cares? Like, I am not going to sit here and cry over Andy Isabella going to the Eagles. He's going to probably bounce around multiple teams if that happens. That's the way it works. So, no, I'm good. I do not cut Shakir.
How about those big receivers? Tyrell Shavers, Keyshawn Johnson, Marcel Aitman.
Shavers is interesting. He's the interesting one, but he has some drops.
Mm-hmm.
But he's 6'4". He's a bigger receiver.
Oh, yeah.
But I think he goes to the practice squad. I don't think anyone picks him up. I don't think he had that big of a preseason where you can be like, oh, someone's going to scoop him up. Like guy, So no, I think he goes to practice squad as well.
Yeah, I was just to close the book on Khalil. I mean, why would you cut a guy that has worked in your system with Josh Allen for over a year now, for a guy like Isabella who had some catches against second and third stringers? I mean, come on now, and he really didn't do much. I mean, why would you even consider that? I don't know if Timmy was just trying to stir up trouble. I know Timmy, you're going to probably catch this on the replay a little late there on the East Coast for you, but there's no way. So let me throw it to you. Tommy, you're our guest. Bubble spot that you don't have to reveal everything. I know you're doing your roster projections tomorrow, but a bubble spot that you have a surprise at. Like, is there anything? But give me a bubble spot that you have positioned that you think
someone on the bubble
might happen. Someone on the bubble.
Okay, I've been saying it. I think Boogie Basham is definitely on the bubble, either through trade. I mean, trade would be it. Like if he's not going to be cut, so it's either trade or nothing. Or he makes a 53. I don't think they're going to risk cutting him because he will be picked up. So it's either trade or nothing. But I do have him on the bubble as far as potential trade. God, who else would I have? Because most of the guys I have making the team, I don't have a lot of guys that are like maybe Cam Lewis is on the bubble, but I still think I think he's had a good preseason and good camp, so I think he can make the team, man. But maybe Cam. But other than that, we kind of know who's going to start. Now I had Ike Bacher getting cut. I don't think he's making the team.
Mm-hmm.
No.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I think the injuries like really had him like a big step back for him in his career. He's a shell of himself. And not that he was anything spectacular, but he was a good rotational guy. And I don't think he's even that. And for some reason, they're going to keep Quessenberry, which I just think because we unless they find somebody else in free agency, they're keeping Quessenberry. That's the only way Quessenberry gets cut. If they realize somebody got cut and they're like, hey, I think we can pick him up. We're going to go ahead and cut you. But I think Quessenberry makes the team just because he's a vet and he's going to be. It's like the Bobby Hart situation for Quessenberry right now. He's like our new Bobby Hart because he's not good. He's very bad. He was okay for Tennessee for a little bit, but man, he fell off a cliff, boy. He real quick, just like Saffold. It was like them two, like I don't know what the hell happened. But yeah, no, I that's where I'm at. I don't no surprises. I think Boogie would be my biggest, trade trade.
So if he's not traded, Tommy, what's your thought there? Are they keeping more at the So I was put on the spot by Mikey, so I'm like, I think Boogie stays, and he's like, over who? I said Shaq. I know you guys talked highly about Shaq being that run stopper, best run stopper. I said, if I had to choose, I'm taking the younger guy because he can play both in and outside. But I don't know.
It would be, but then you're cutting our best run defender, and then what would happen is they do that, and then we're bad at stopping the run. It's gonna really go back and bite him in the ass. That's the problem. Like we don't have if he's our best run defender right now, and you got to remember Vaughn is not there. Like I would consider Vaughn when healthy up there with Shaq as far as run defense, right? Like he's a very good run defender as well. But you got to remember no Von Miller right now. So do you trust Boogie with that? Like I don't know. Like I don't, right? So I don't know. I don't know what you do there. I got to be honest with you. I got to look at the roster and all, like who could be, because I don't have it in front of me. So I don't know. That's a great question. I have no idea what you do there. I think there's only one way, and that would be a trade, and you get something, a pick for him. But you can't cut Shaq. I would be shocked, man, because he'd be picked up right away. There's no way getting around that.
This is a good one. I like this. I would actually like this signing because he's young. He's 25. Started a few games last year. Was just in Denver, and things didn't work out. He's a big boy. He's 6'7", 305. Isaiah Prince. Not a bad option, just considering where David Quessenberry is in his career. Could be another option there. And who I really like actually is Ryan Vandermark. I'm a big fan. I think he had a very solid preseason.
Oh yeah. You're right. He did.
Yep.
Surprising. I'll be honest.
Yeah.
That I was like, ooh, that. I remember when we got him, like, oh god.
Yeah.
But
wasn't super excited, but yes.
Right. But he's done very, very well. And a matter of fact, I was like, man, right tackle he wasn't very good at, but he filled in last week. He did okay. Like at right tackle. So I think he earned his spot. He's a guy that he earned.
Absolutely.
He came in and earned that spot. So yeah, that is a surprise. Like a guy that came out of nowhere and earned a spot. I think I'd be, we'll see, but
I'd be surprised. I think he makes the team.
Yeah, I do too. Yeah.
John Robert, you heard or you have Lawson on the practice squad? Maybe you got some inside information.
I don't think he's a practice squad guy. I feel like he gets picked up.
Yeah,
he's too good a player.
Yeah, it ain't happening. They signed him back for a reason. They signed him and Phillips back for a reason.
Yes. Juice guys.
Phillips,
juice guys. That's what they are.
If Phillips can be healthy, and I know Sarah mentioned it, he's like that dude. I love Jordan Phillips. Like that dude when healthy, and that's a big win. is a problem for offenses, right? Like he causes havoc, high energy guy. Love what Jordan Phillips brings to this team. We just got to keep him healthy. You know, that's all. Keep him healthy. That dude can make a difference. So he's making the team for sure. I think they love Jordan Phillips. But we'll see.
I love what Sarah says. Trade Questenberry. The only thing you'd probably get there is a $100 gift certificate to a wing place in Buffalo.
We're doing him dirty this show, man. Listen, nothing but respect for that
can't.
guy. That dude beat cancer. Like, he came back. He
No,
grinded last year. He had
look,
one leg against the Patriots.
Love him for that. But we're talking
smoked.
game. We're talking game.
Yeah, you're just not gonna. He's
I beat
done
cancer
terrible.
too, Jake. And if someone just said I wasn't doing my job, I mean, I'm okay. I'm not doing my job.
You're right.
I mean, if you look at that, we got Josh Allen, $250 million man, and if Questenberry's in there, there's a big risk there.
It's a liability. I agree.
Let's see there. Funny, Sarah. Funny. Very funny, I must say. Trekker Viewer, it would not be the first time we had an undrafted offensive tackle on the roster. Just look at Jason Peters. Jake, what about Garage? So Garage probably
was a tight end, by the way. Yeah.
Jason Peters started his career as a tight end, switched it, kicked inside to tackle. By the way, to Topper, I know you asked about Jason Peters coming in for a workout. I believe there is truth to that. And he said he was very open to signing with the Bills, and if they came knocking, he'd be all for it. But there was nothing set in stone with that. So it sounds like he's still going to be.
I would absolutely 100% be good with that. If they listen, even if he's just there, a locker, like his presence alone, what he what he could do for, as far as just, it's like bringing in an aging quarterback that's been there, done that. Like Von Miller, right? We signed Von Miller not because he's just great on the field, but the dude brings knowledge. And that's what Jason Peters can do. You bring him here, you know what I mean? He could talk to the young guys, could talk to all of these guys. Spencer Brown, hey man, that's what you got to do. Blah. Like, they're going to pay way more attention to what he says than anyone else. Guy that's probably he is a Hall of Famer. And yeah, dude, 100% bring him in. If he's willing to come here, no doubt about it. And like I said, if something bad happens, I totally trust this dude. I know he's not what he once was, back in the day, but look what he did last year. I think it was Dallas. He came.
Yep.
Did fine. No problem. So 100%. If he's willing to sign here, yes, no doubt about it, because he's the best you're going to get, in my opinion, unless there's a crazy cut. Like, we did not see this happening, and there's a guy that's out there, fine. But other than that, there's offensive linemen are very tough to come by. You grab that dude, you put him on the roster, you have him there just for his knowledge alone. So no doubt you pick him
I
up,
agree, Tommy.
I'm
with you. I am with you, man. Yeah, and Richard Garage, Mike, that is, I think he had his moments in the preseason here, but unfortunately, I think he's a little bit of a project, and he's going to be stashed on the practice squad. And I don't think he gets picked up by another team. I think he's going to be a practice squad.
And I don't even think I saw him yesterday, to be honest with you.
No.
So that says a lot too. If you're fighting for a spot, so that said a lot. Jake, any bubble spots, any surprises? I mean, we already talked about the big one that I know we've been going back and forth on our channel, and that was Timmy saying Khalil is the surprise cut. But that's not going to happen. Do you have any others? Anything else you see that might be change what you thought earlier when we did our 53-man active roster?
I don't think so. Reggie Gilliam is making the team, though. I know Timmy mentioned he's a surprise cut candidate, so you could take it and shove it. He's not getting cut from this team. If he does, I don't know. I mean, I'll be very devastated.
I would be surprised. I would be very surprised as well. Yeah.
Yeah. So, I mean, that kind of does it, guys. I mean, great show. Hour and 45 minutes. Wow. Talking it up, man. Time just flies. And last call. Actually, the last call's over. So we're going to be bringing your bills around and, pretty cheap for wings, 50 cents. So, guys, final thoughts. Tommy, why don't you tell the folks about your channel and where they can find you and when, all the cool stuff you're doing over there.
So, Mafia Sports Report, y'all know. If you don't, it's right there, Mafia Sports Report. And we go live tomorrow at 9 o'clock on Monday night. But just a heads up, when the season starts, we go live after Monday Night Football. So the time will change once football kicks on, because I can't compete with Monday Night Football. one of my podcasts on Monday night. So it's after Monday Night Football moving forward. But tomorrow we do go live at 9. Friday nights were Friday Night Lights at 8:30. And I do got some stuff coming up soon. This week, actually, Mafia Means Family podcast. It's I believe he's like 12 years old with his mom. I had him on last year. They had their own channel. It was great. It's a little bit of more of a family oriented, but it's awesome. Seeing a little kid talk Buffalo Bills football, and he's knowledgeable. So I think that's at 7:30 on Thursday. So definitely tune in for that. And then, I got the AFC East Shakedown. That starts this Saturday as well at 6:30. That's fun. And yeah, I got a lot going on, man. So just stay tuned. If you guys have my Twitter, Tommy Talks Bills. That's it.
Yeah, and I have a link in the description of Tommy's channel, Mafia Sports Report. So go click on that. Get over there and sub if you haven't already.
Mike, you're speeding up a little bit on us.
I think he's just trying to end it. He's like, all right, it's time to get out of here.
He's going chipmunk on us.
Is it acting up?
Yeah, it's acting up. You're acting a fool right now, but it's okay.
Thanks. Hold on.
I do want to address this real quick while we have it. Jalen Mayfield. Yeah, I like this kid. I always say Big Ten offensive linemen have the best technique overall. So I would not mind that at all. That's a good name to look out for, Jalen Mayfield. I believe he's probably in that practice squad zone. So maybe a guy that we pick up off the waiver wire. So good name there. Kid drafted from Atlanta. Initially was going to play guard, but could play tackle as well. But in the pro level, I don't know. It's TBD for me. But yes, very good point. I like that name. Very, very good, Topper. Love it, brother.
I do want to say one quick thing too by the way, there's always surprise cuts every year or from teams. So just because when our 53 comes out, when we make our cuts, don't be surprised if other people get cut because they want to pick up somebody else that got, you know what I mean? So this guy may make team and all of a sudden he's cut because they found something better at tackle or whatever, running, whatever. So I'm just throwing that out there. There's going to be roster changes throughout the next probably week and a half. You know what I mean? While they're picking up guys that are out there that are surprise cuts. So
the Bills are no strangers to it. Lawyer Malloy, 03. Remember that?
Yes, of course.
Going way back,
great,
but
great pickup.
That's a great name right there. Yeah.
Yeah, it happens all the time, surprise cuts. So we'll see what happens. But I think we are like 20 something on the waiver wire. So we have to wait quite a bit before we pick our first player, but it is what it is, It's going to be interesting. I love this time. It's very interesting to see who gets cut.
4 p.m.
Is the mic okay?
You're good, Mike.
No, God,
Let's
no.
go,
I do not want Bobby Hart ever back on this team. He's so bad.
So I want to say, Jake and I will go live Wednesday night on the Wednesday Night Tailgate Show. We'll be talking about, those cuts that happen on Tuesday. But you can also get reaction on the AFC East Summit show. I have the link in the description below. Go check out these guys. We have 4 reps representing all the teams in the AFC East. They are going to be talking about the cuts for each of their teams. So that's going to be a fun show. These guys do a great job. So check them out. Again, links in the description. They go live Tuesday at 8 p.m. Eastern. And then Jake and I will go live at 9 p.m. Eastern on Wednesday. So lots of stuff. I can't wait for these cuts to happen and see who we can grab, who can snag, who can help us out, and all that good stuff. Tommy, thank you so much tonight. Appreciate you as always. Mr. Podger, any last thoughts from you, my friend?
No, I'm just really intrigued to see what happens here. The Bills have already made 7 cuts, and curious to see, if there are any surprises and if they make any moves here last minute.
All right, let's end this on a awesome outro and get you fired up, and we'll talk soon. Go Bills! Thank you.
Go Bills!
Go Bills!
Bills Mafia, circling a wagon. You feel me? Nickel City Mafia, let's go!
Josh Allen, quarterback supreme, leading the Bills to the top of the league. Weapons by his side, and that defense hella mean. Buffalo's got a team that must be seen. I said Buffalo's got a team that must be seen. Yeah, come on. J17 leading the charge. Buffalo Bills on the rise. Passing game on point, ain't no mirage. Happening right in your eyes, ain't no surprise. Buffalo stacking the QB. Stephon Diggs holding in the pass. Group cars didn't have to go deep. We're circling wagons, just wait and see. From Wyoming to the NFL, Josh Allen's got the skill. skills. Air raid, deep ball, touchdown for real. Leading the Bills to playoff drills. Real time, this ain't no drill. Cold game, we're giving them chills. Check the score, now you know the deal. Nickel City Mafia.